Hello everybody, how you doing? I just want to do a quick overview on the website that I've got here. Um, I made an inventory system that I mainly use for myself, but I'm sure other people could probably find it pretty handy. If you don't log in and you just go to what Forgo's items are, it'll say Forgo's items. But if you don't log in, it'll say Forgo's items. You can click it, you can see all my stuff. You can see the same thing I see here. I happen to be logged in, so of course I see all my stuff. But what's cool is you can search it. So let's say you're looking for pit bulls. It's going to come up with everything that has a pit bull on it. We're going to have a bunch of pages on it. But let's say you're looking for a particular thing like blues rock and it's in a pit bull. And you saw the pit bulls I had, so which one is it in? Well, we could add the number of the container and it'll give you an idea of what else to possibly look for within that container. So I use it a lot. It's great. It's really, especially because I have stuff that I keep on all planets. Um, and even when I didn't, it's great to know where I had stuff. If I left stuff on a planet, where it was at, um, kind of help reduce panic mode. The other thing it does is it separates blueprints. So you've got blueprints separated, separate from the items that you see there. Um, so these are all the blueprints that I own. You can search them by QR. You can search them by whatever container they're in. Um, but if you're searching for armor plate blueprints and you're not sure exactly where you put it, um, it might be in a let's see, mark dot. You want to see where all these different prints are. Well, some of them might be in a sand runner, some of them might be in a pit bull like this. Now you know. And if other people use it, I don't think anybody even does, but if anybody uses it, I could set it up to where if you wanted people to be able to see what you can craft or what items you have to help sell, that would be kind of cool to try to figure out. Um, it wouldn't be too hard, I wouldn't think. So anyway, that's how that works. So let me show you how to get all that data. It's made it pretty easy. What you've got to do is go to your Entropia Universe account, log in. You want to go to your items page. It's got all your junk. Take this and you select all. Do Control C for copy, or you can do this and do copy. Then you go into a spreadsheet program, Excel. I use Open Office. Go into the first field, Control V. You're going to take a sec, load, and there you've got it. You take these first 20, take the rows, you delete the rows. If you don't really care about if you care about people seeing what the ped balance is, then you go back down to the bottom of the list and delete the last 2 rows. So now this is all set. So the only thing you have to do is save as, and then we'll name it whatever you want to name it, as long as you know where it's at, how to find it, and all that stuff. So I typically name them items 12, 10, 18, and then save as, not ODS. I'm going to save as a .csv. So we've got .csv. Now save. Now it's going to ask you for a delimiter. If you go up to, if for some reason you don't know what the heck to use, So I've got a pop-up that didn't show up on the screen asking, document may contain formatting or content that cannot be saved in text CSV file format. Do you want to save the document in this format anyway? And then this, I think, is an open office thing. It may not have this issue with Excel, I'm not sure. Open office is free, so it'd be easy to just use this and try it out. So anyway, you've got two options. Click a button to keep current format or save in ODF format. What we want to do is keep current format, which is the CSV format. And then we've got an export text file option. Character set is set to Western Europe in my case, whatever your default is, and then it'll ask for a field delimiter. It's set to comma by default in OpenOffice. We want it to be a semicolon, and I'll show you here if we go to uploads in the profile on the website. Then we can go to upload items, and here it will show you the delimiter that I use to separate it out, to look for. So if you ever have any questions, just go to here before you upload it, and then you set the down here in the open office. You just go ahead, and the text delimiter is set to colon, or not colon, quotation. And I don't think that matters as much, but the field delimiter is the big one, which is semicolon. So then it saved. So now I've got a new title on there that you can't see. I'm not sure. That's kind of interesting. Doesn't show the title. So anyway, that's all done. Now it's got a CSV file format. We can go to the website here. We can hit browse. We've got all our different Entropia or different documents that we want to look at. So we can go to Entropia. We've got all these chat logs. And we're looking for our items CSV. Well, wherever you put your file. And it's not showing the open dialog, but if you could see it now, it will show that I selected that file. Can't really highlight it, but it's above here. It's right next to the browse. Shows items to 12, 10, 18 .csv, and then from here we'll submit. It says your item file has been imported, and let me go back to the web page. Let's see if it worked. All right. Go to my items, and up here at the database we have, let me make this a little bigger. Database updated, which is today, or just now. And as you can see, everything that we just did is now up to date. So I've got 30 entries. Got some AccuStims places, which is kind of why I was doing this anyway, to make sure I had them at the right places that I want them. So if I look at stems, it's going to show me all the different stems that I have and where they're all located. Neurostem A's, MedStems, HyperStems, DevaStems, AccuStems. And if you're looking for tokens, I happen to be on Arcadia, so it's not exactly easy to go look in your storage, but here we've got all of our storages. So we could look at FenToken Platinum. I've got one in auction. I've got a stack in Calypso. I've got another stack of these in Calypso. Show you how many stamina tokens, combat tokens, daily tokens. So it's very, 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 very handy. Apparently I'm up to 1988. Let me just double check that because I just recently bought this Terra 10 blueprint. And of course it's got all the QRs. My best Terra blueprint is the Terra Amp 9 at 0.24. Anyhow, just to show you what it looks like when I log out, which is what you should be able to see as well. Alright, so I'm all logged out. So you see over here we've got Forgo stuff. So this is all the items. It's the same file that I just uploaded. You don't have to worry about that because it only does this with my stuff. Your stuff is hidden from everybody else. There's no way for them to access it in any way. Unless you want it, and then maybe I can make it. But for now, that wasn't really the plan. The other cool thing is there's a mining tracker thing. Let's see if I can get this thing. Let me change this up. You can look at my ugly mug for a second while I do this here real quick. So I'm just going to log in. Now that I'm all logged in, here's the mining tracker. You can search all the different areas you've been to. Mutation Station, for example. Show you what's found there. You got gas there, you've got stardust, you've got fly amber. So this is really handy, and it's really easy to use. Start a new run. You select whatever area you're going to go to. Let's say you're on Treasure Island. Well, let's reset that. Let's say you're on 8Coins HQ. Now, you probably won't have any finder fits sets set up, so here you can actually get a finder. Select whatever amp you're going to use if you're going to use it, your refiner, your excavator, and this is mostly just to keep track of tier increases. So let's say that's what you've got. That's the tier, and if you're using enhancers, the more you go up, if it's a tier 5 something and you want to use enhancers, it's going to give you 5 different options of, okay, maybe you start off with 5, or maybe you have 15 in there, or maybe you roll with 49. But this way you can keep track of what your burn is and what the cost of those are. If you have more than one amp, you can set that. Actually, I don't know if that actually does work correctly, but in any case, when you select the amplifier, it'll already set the TT value. And this is all full values, assuming that you all go out. Now, if you have a limited, then here's where you would set, you've got 25 TT value up here. Actually, let me do this so you guys can see this better. So here you could set the value there, and let's say that this is a tier 2.3, and you're using depth. So you could say for tier 1 you've got 6, and for tier 2 you've got 2. So now you've got a new set. So we can add this set. Now if you've already got another F211 that you had set up with a different amp or whatever, that's cool. It's going to save that, and you could just pick whatever, like this is my 211 setup that I had before, which is a tier 7.2. I'm not using any enhancers. It's level 2 amplifier unlimited, which I sold. These are the tools that I was using. And then once you're all set on what one you want to use, this is the one that we just did, showing, we've got 49 excavators on tier 4. We've got 6 and 4, 6 and 2 here. So that's your set that you want to do. Let's select that. We select our area. I think we reset it on accident. Select 8 coins. Now if you want to say going north from the teleporter, or you want to say north side, or some note to help distinguish which direction you went or whatever, because this doesn't really make a map yet. I haven't gotten that far into it, but you can put a note in there to kind of help you figure out where you're going. And then down here you've got ammo. If you use mining probes, put in the amount of mining probes you have. If you have universal ammo and you use that, throw in, I've got 2,000 universal ammo. And then when you're done, we hit send, and what we've got is it's the base set up here. So if we look at it before it's all set up, it shows that we've got 2,200 ped down, because that's all the ammo that we have. That's all of our TT values, and we don't have anything to go against it. So this is the total cost minus whatever comes back to us. Instead of doing a new run, I want to go up here to the mining list, and so let's say you get your run done, you're all done. Here you can put in, okay, it decayed that much. I used up 2 of these enhancers, and it'll max out at whatever enhancers you use, so you can't accidentally go higher. So let's say it burned out 6 that time, or it burned out a couple that time. And then if it raised up, you can raise it up, and it'll show you pretty specifically here. Now the amp, you have to put the value down itself to show the difference. So usually there's like a 2 ped value of that left over, and by the time you make, I suggest that you go through and go ahead and refine everything. Just because of the way I'll show you how I have it. But here you can say, okay, all my probes are dead. My universal ammo is down to 1850. And then we can submit the final values and move on to the returns. So we've got all that stuff there. So now, because everything's refined, you know exactly what ores you have. And I've got it set up to buy the ore itself because of the markups. This way I could pull off of the PE auction numbers that were on the Entropia database, which I basically got a copy from 7-Eleven to use for all of this. So it's a little outdated. It's not the actual Entropia databases. These are all just copied databases on my servers. But it's fairly accurate. I have it to where we could change it. It's not fully done yet on the editing and making sure that we can actually have our own to keep them up to date. And that was kind of the idea, is that if everybody put in their own, that it could average it all out, and we could have a somewhat accurate running markup value list of some sort. So let's say you picked up some iron, you picked up some cobalt. You had, after you refined, you've got 2 rocks left, and you had 15 ingots. And same with the cobalt, you had 20 of these, and you had 1 rock left. And then you just add it, and it does all the rest for you. So it'll add up, what the value is. It'll add up the markup based off of whatever the markup option is. And I've got either PE option, Entropia Bay, or, like I said, member is kind of in progress, to where you can kind of keep track of your own. But PE auction seems to be the one more accurate. And then if you did end matter, you could say what you found. If you've got treasure, you could say, okay, I found a bunch of treasure of this kind. I found all alcare, lattice. And then here you've also got the treasure items. So let's say you found a dagger. You would just put the ped value in here because um, it'll add the value of the markup on top of that. So let's say it's 50. Um, and if these aren't added, it won't show up. So let's say we just do the. This won't disappear or anything when you add the treasure, so just be careful not to just keep clicking it thinking that it didn't do anything. That's the only one though. If you did for this one, for example, any of the ores and miners or whatever, we only have one of those. When you add it, it'll do the same as up there. So let's say you're done. Check out your results. You're down 269 ped because you didn't get enough back. You only got 52 ped back, plus 18 in ores, and you spent 150 in universal ammo, 114 in probes. You spent 25 ped on the excavator because, or yeah, pec on the excavator. The amp you spent 72 ped, 76 ped. Oh yeah, the excavator, it's minus 25 because you've got 1 ped TT, but you've got enhancer burn. 12 enhancers at 2 ped each. Same with the finder, it'll show 10 TT down. That's because you've got 4 enhancers at 2 ped each, at roughly 2 ped each, plus 2 ped and TT for the finder. So it does all that stuff for you. And these are, I don't know, kind of breaks it down, just kind of a visual thing. They're kind of placeholders for now. At least here you can kind of see where where you started, where you ended, what it changed by. Here's the total cost, just a more detailed breakdown. Here you can see, oh, my tier changed that run. And then if you have any changes you need to make, you can go back and edit it. I don't have a whole lot of ways if you make a mistake, and still need to do a delete run function to where you could actually just delete the whole run without. I probably have to do that pretty quick if anyone wants to use this, because otherwise I'd have to go in and delete the actual entry. But yeah, and then the cool thing is, let's say you did find all this stuff, you could say, what is it used for? We've got cobalt here, and you could use it for Breer M2A, you could use it for all the Logland cutters and scratchers, or a windscreen. So give you kind of an idea, plan out, okay, can I use this to craft with, or should I just sell it? Maybe I can craft something for markup. This helps a little bit with that. And then of course if you click the blueprint, it's going to show you how much of each. Now if you click actually the material, what's cool is nothing happens because I haven't done that yet. But if we go up here to search location data, we can select our areas that we've been to. And let's say we went to Biodome 14. And as long as you've been there, if you're like, I forgot what the heck I found there, you can say, oh, okay, yeah, that's right, that's got ganganite and oil in there. I don't want to go back because it's crap. So at least you could search, where you found stuff. You could search stuff by the tool you use. So let's say you're using F211s a lot. Well, every F211 run will be in here. This is the one we just did. Because we said that we're using an F211, so it's going to track it as a running total of how you've been doing with that particular mining amp. This one's my F06, 106, and it's got a running total of, this is my markup balance, and it doesn't include Arcadia because the PE balance, the Entropiapedia database didn't have any of that information, so the tool balance here is just the running balance without any markups at all, and then here's with markups. So you could do that. You could do, if you use a ring, you could, and select which ones are using the rings. I might have that set up. I don't know. Just let me know if it's all buggy, because like I said, I just kind of got this show working and I was happy enough with that. Okay, so there it is, the inventory overview and kind of how the mining works. But once you're a member, real easy to do. And then let me double check that anything else in the profile that we might have that. You can upload skills. I don't really have any use for it right now. The images are more or less just if you wanted to change your image on the website. Nothing too fantastic. Admin at Lunsys. I don't know what happens with that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. My provider is being iffy. API management was kind of like if you wanted to allow certain people to, that's kind of the start progress of if you wanted to allow certain people to see your mining runs or certain people to see your inventory, like say, hey, I wanted to sell a bunch of stuff, go check it out. One day maybe, I don't know. But that is it. Thanks for watching.